Welcome, I'm Kaleb I.A and this is Top 10 Strongest Capcom Characters. Now, Capcom is a great franchise that owns a lot of games, and in those games there are a lot of characters that we know and love. Or know and hate, I'm not biased on opinions. So off of a lot that I say in all games, because there's certain games where they don't match up at all, and I analyze the strength of protagonists and antagonists in the game. So on this list there's going to be either the main character or the main villain, or the closest thing to the main villain in some cases. Their strength will be based off of feats, as in things that they did, characters that they defeated, and other achievements. So let's get into the list. Number 10, Ryu. If he's number 10, then we're on the ride for more. Ryu is a superhuman martial artist where he puts his feats on the board. From the cutscene in Third Strike, we can assume that Ryu goes under ridiculous training to reach the strength of a superhuman. A master of Shotokan karate and a skilled user of ki in the Street Fighter universe, he can manifest certain life energies into his moves like light, wind, fire, and electricity. His transcendence into the state of consciousness that is the power of nothingness lets him counterattack evil powers or abilities like the Satsu no Hado. His power is enough to level a small town or an island, and that includes evil Ryu to add some more stats into it. Number 9, Akuma. Master of the Satsu no Hado, Shun Goku Satsu, and also other abilities relating to it, he's never really showed exhaustion in a fight. Not sure about Akuma and Ashura's Wrath, but if it was canon, not saying that it is, he'd be really busted because he literally doesn't have to believe in exhaustion. And plus, Ashura Akuma is pretty busted. Aside from that, his wins make him the strongest character in Street Fighter that we mentioned. Aside from Gil, Oro, and Goken, we can't really involve them, but if we do add Oni, then he does become the strongest and literally becomes godlike, surpassing Shin Akuma, the form that was originally supposed to be the highest form of Akuma, and Oni just surpasses that. Number 8, Mega Man. So many things that can highlight the feats of Mega Man. Black hole manipulation, both the black hole ring and the black hole bomb, the ability to stop time, space manipulation, gravity manipulation, and the list goes on. He's also stronger than Proto Man, and he's the one that lifted a whole fortress with one hand. Then there's also Astro Crush, which sends out a meteor storm, atomic fire from Heat Man that could reach a temperature that's hotter than Earth's core and the sun's surface. Both Mega Man and Mega Man X are both ridiculously strong characters not to be messed with. Number 7, Zero, the one-up to X. The one that actually brings a sword to a space gunfight and wins. There's been many instances where they're showing that Zero is stronger than X. Zero has even saved X after a fight that X had originally initiated and lost. He defeated Omega and Dark Elf after they fused, took hits from Lusamine, who basically ran laps around X, Zero, and Axel, and then there's Awakening Mode Zero, which makes him even more insanely Zero. Number 6, Beautiful Joe. Having to enter in the movie universe, this beautiful man had fought Dark Kaiser. Dark Kaiser is a busted planetary destroyer man who basically pulled blasts from the sun and along with that threw the rings of Saturn as a projectile. Someone had done the calculations for that, and that made the equivalent of 154 yotatons, and a yotaton is a measure of strength of an explosion or a bomb based on how many septillion tons of TNT would be needed to produce the same energy. And along with that, he can slow down time around him to increase the power of his hits and make it easy for him to dodge attacks. Number 5, Mundus. The first antagonist of the Devil May Cry series, began on better notes than what he originally was, and he's a pretty scary antagonist at that. He's what you would expect from a demon. Weather manipulator, lava spewer, giant demon form, mother killer, altogether a pretty evil guy. And oh yeah, he also created another universe to fight in, probably to get the upper hand, so he's somewhat of a god, but a god of demons, a demon god. Number 4, Amaterasu. With her celestial brush, she can cut anything from any angle, and the cut is the hardest thing in the game. And the hardest thing in the game being diamond, and it can even cut that. The ability to cut all of that, spin a galaxy, summon weather, and control the elements. Very durable when shown getting smacked by Yami, the Emperor of Everlasting Darkness, who is wiping out the constellations. With traces of meta art manipulation, she also shows off her strengths, and along with that, she also has a very long list of abilities and items that help her too. Number 3, Jedha Doma. It's crazy, people forget about this game. The savior of the demon world, Lord of Death. Jedha goes by many titles, with the ability to create dimensions, have immortality, blood manipulation, space-time manipulation, and a bunch of other things that a god to demons would have. There was also when he destroyed Makai, and that was described to be several hundred times larger than Earth's mass, just by raising his hand. Someone by the name of Nevermind had already done the calcs for it, and Jedha has the ability to destroy an area 1.04 times greater than Saturn. Altogether, a crazy demon lord. Number 2, Dante. With the power of Sparta, or being a Sparta, Dante has the history of being a pretty insane character. Dante has such a huge list of abilities and feats, but to add up the good ones: breathing without oxygen, hypersonic speed, time manipulation, the ability to channel his devil energy into his weapons to make them stronger, flight, self-healing, and his range is nasty. You've probably seen his Sparta, but take note of the Yamato. It's said to cut through anything, and it actually cuts through dimensional walls, like when he cut the Hellgate in half. There's DMC 1 through 4 Dante, Devil Trigger Dante, Sparta Devil Trigger Dante, and Majin Dante. Dante does basically kill off the Demon Emperor, and that feat alone is far more difficult than what it would actually seem. For the number 1 spot, we got Asura from Asura's Wrath, or Azura from Asura's Wrath, or Ashura. Then there's not a clear way. I'm pretty sure in the game they said Asura, so I'm going with Asura, but I don't know how exactly to say it the same way. You know what I mean. If you make this demigod mad, you might as well be dead. That's basically it. Before getting into his abilities, let's just see the entities that he's defeated. August, one of the 7 deities with a sword longer than the planet, defeated. Deus, the strongest of the 7 deities, boosted by this form, defeated. Wizen, the largest of the 7 deities, blown away by a final punch. And Chakravartin, he's God, okay? This guy, he's literally God. He's the creator of all. He has a God mode and everything. It's ridiculous. There's many battles in Ashura's Wrath, and I do suggest that you play or watch the series as a whole. Ashura has many modes, many modes. There's one where he becomes larger than the earth and faces against Chakravartin, who's became so big that the sun seemed like a marble to him, and I'm not kidding. He threw planets at him as weapons. He was also surrounded by multiple galaxies and threw suns at him too, as this whole fight was enough to show how strong he is. He beats someone who threw planets like they're dice, and then Chakra had gone into his final form where basically he shows his true creator appearance, basically making him omnipotent. The main thing about Chakravartin is that he's meant to be omnipotent, but many people would argue that because he got beat. But the main thing about the game as a whole is that he's meant to be omnipotent, and against everything else he probably is. The game just shows that Ashura's actual wrath is above omnipotence. Now, if you want to argue fictional characters, bring Ashura more. Or Asura, you know how to say his name. Busted. He's a busted character. Respect Ashura. Asura. Respect him. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Put your guys' thoughts in the comments if you actually have some facts or anything back behind it about which character is stronger than which character, and your guys' thoughts about it as a whole. Do you guys not agree with this list? Do you guys think that some people should be where the other ones are? Or there's some games that are being left out that are as notable as these ones? Put your guys' thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading it over. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out and Godspeed.